Okay, back. So, the dog wasn't getting into anything, more just paranoia from a little earlier. Yeah, the other day, the kiddo had basically gone and gotten a whole bunch of cookies for Easter, like little baby cookies. They have these things that are like kind of sort of sugar cookies, but they're like more like ginger snap kind of things. The idea is to give them something relatively cookie-related, looks like a cookie, somewhat feels like a cookie, but they're not getting all that crazy sugar intake. So, any dang ways. She gets one of those for Easter. Then we leave for a little bit, and we come back, and just notice the dog is being unusually well-behaved, and, we have a couple. We have the one that we're training, and we have the one that, that's actually a pet. And yeah, it's like, why is he being so good all of a sudden? And then, wife goes to the bedroom, comes back, is completely pissed. Just like throws this torn up bag of cookies on the ground. Like, just effing got this! Just got this! Like, that you just see the look on this little pug's face, like, oh god, she's gonna eat me. Man. You do not get a pregnant lady angry. Especially if you're a little dog that gets in trouble a lot lately. I don't know why, it's weird. Because, obviously every now and then you're gonna have a just random thing with your dog. For some reason lately, he's just scrounging everywhere all the time, and brought him to the vet, he's all well and healthy and everything. They're like, no, he's just kind of being a dick, I guess. So, who knows? Also, did not mean to do that. But it looked cool, so it was done. Gotta say, I really appreciate that about this mod, that even when you screw up and hit something with a shield instead of your weapon or whatever, kind of realistically still gonna do just about as much damage. Because yeah, shields frickin' hurt. Oh, just look at one of people's favorites examples of that, and friggin' Spartans and whatnot. It's unclear whether they actually did use the shield as, a full and proper weapon, because I don't think they had, treatises or whatever written down, but it's pretty well assumed that they did. Actually, I don't know if there's any depictions now that I think about it. Typically, they ended up deciding a lot of those things based off of depictions that they saw of people fighting and everything. And most of the pictures I recall seeing just, showed somebody hiding behind a shield and poking at something with a spear. But either way, actually, come to think of it, they might have found dents on the edges of shields or something. I feel like there was something, but I don't remember exactly. But either way, accurate or not, it's what they're known for now, so we'll just go ahead and assume it's all accurate. This seems like a worthwhile thing right here, and worked out perfectly. I'm gonna have to look that up after this. I'm really curious now. Surprisingly, Canopus has taken some hits, but I think he can survive a little foray into the back line. Get rid of some rogues. Alright, decent odds. Better odds. And that's actually the guy I want to get rid of, because the rogues seem to be the ones going around healing everything. Plus the heavies don't seem to be doing a whole lot. I kind of feel like they could that they could stand to get use of their AoE abilities earlier, or have some other alternative that's available earlier. Maybe some better scaling alternative. Because their range is pretty limited early on. I don't mean like close range, I just mean in terms of like how many units they can attack at once. It's like they're pretty much limited to 2, and feels like they should be able to do more. Well, he already mentioned he was hoping to, do the whole thing with with the T-shaped breath and all that. Then again, I wonder, range-limited sightline attack kind of a thing? Wonder if that would work? I think he said that the range on it is technically just completely infinite. Alright, please knock her back. Darn. Stealing my loots, woman! Also stealing my loots. I didn't really care as much with the mod, though. At least not yet. One of the many, many de-stressing features of the mod, where you don't necessarily have to worry about the fact that, you know, a monster unit that just got killed off had its loot stolen, because you can just get it some other time. You don't necessarily need it right there on the spot. It's not necessarily terribly difficult to get another one. Gotta say, Farampa grinding in vanilla takes forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Why is she so far behind in the turn order? But yeah, so, you know, vanilla update lately. So I was going through that, as per usual. So, I was doing the nightly rando grinding runs and stuff. And, yeah. Started getting pretty darn annoyed at stuff going and stealing all the beast claws and stuff like that that would end up dropping. And it kept making me wonder over and over, like, why did they not allow beast claws and all this other stuff to just show up in the store? Because it's like, if you, you know, stab it super hard, it drops its claws off, but if you go and intentionally disassemble it for parts, that doesn't happen, apparently. Like, what happened there? Like, I'm sorry, we put them in the incinerator and they fell through the little grate and we didn't feel like sifting through it or something. Like, that's dark as hell, but, you know, they do show up as a steak and leather, so it's not terribly far gone as far as theories go. Yeah, that just went pretty dark. Oh well, oh well. Such things happen. Not exactly a species that's been, you know, historically nice to stuff. That's why I think it's always funny every time I see this thing come up. Like, oh, why hasn't there been like an alien invasion or something? It's like, have you seen our history? It's like an entire planet that's taken over by stuff that's really good at adapting to killing stuff. That's it's not not pretend we're, you know, a planet of peaceful hippies exactly, but yeah. Like one of those weird situations where I'm pretty sure most people, you know, would prefer to have a nice peaceful existence and everything else. And then, yeah, historically there's always something wrong going on. There's been little reason to, well, get up and go do stuff for quite a while. Like, pretty much ever since food supply got figured out. You know, safe housing got figured out. All this other stuff got figured out. It's like, technically speaking, what are people still fighting over? And, you know, there'll always be something. There will always friggin' be something. And the funny thing is, if you look through philosophical sayings, like even going all the way back to Greece, there's still people saying pretty much the same thing. Like, everything's good now, we figured out society. There's technically no reason for us to be going and doing stuff, but we're gonna keep going and doing stuff. Just because, you know, reasons. Okay, and this is looking like a job for a tremendous here. And Zapan is quite a bit tougher. Probably would be better to clear off the edges here before he just runs behind them and gets himself healed again. I'm aware, by the way, of how unbelievably limited Denim's offensive capabilities are right now, but that's fine, because that will end up balancing itself out down the line. I mean, really, he's just there as a wall right now. You know, might as well have him as a wall. He's already going to be in a defensive role, so if he can be in a safe place while doing it, might as well. Figure it's far safer than any other method. Alright, got to this guy, Mr. Ozric, who's no longer a spear. Or maybe it was his spear originally, but this is an alternate bad side of history for him, so, I guess wrong timeline, he didn't get his spear. He's just walking around with a whip or whatever he has instead. Making kind of annoying, catchy songs. Hurry up, lady. Hurry up! Okay. Speeding this up a little bit because they're just gonna take a lot of turns. Pretty much swap out their lines. You know, I hope someday there's if there is just like a switch for different tactics or whatever in the AI. One of my biggest things is hopefully that they figure out how to intentionally switch their lines. Because you see the AI do it every now and then, but you know, by the way they're doing it, you can pretty much tell, like, they did it on accident, but I'm going to pretend that they didn't. So, one can hope, one can hope. I can also wonder if there's going to be any audio in this at all. It's going to turn out to be that one exception where everything was banned due to that song at the very beginning. Actually, wait a sec. That was the last part. Fine now. Oh yeah, don't worry. Your Beastmaster there totally needs to be casting stuff. Good choice. Hopefully that's another thing. Maybe maybe some way of limiting who exactly gets healed when they really don't need to be. Kind of acceptable crumple zones, as it were. Because the formations say that they understand it, their actions say that they don't. Although, yeah, monks definitely change that dynamic. Because then everybody else is handling all the little stuff, and then a monk comes around like, oh, nice decapitation you got going there, let me just slap your head back on. Like it's nothing. As Weird Al put it, their neck is enjoying a pleasant breeze. That song was hilarious. Apparently my wife didn't think so. Zach, no, why is he always ruining my songs? Well, I don't know, I think it's pretty hilarious. But what can you do? Alright, Spear Guy is definitely no, okay. Or Spear Gal, rather. I was basically seeing if she was going to move, see if I should move him out of the way. See about getting an extra stab on that Lizardlington, but no. Man, lizards... Why are they always scary in everything they show up in? It's like, now that I think about it, every strategy game that I've seen a lizard in, they're always just... They're always difficult. I think maybe the exception being FFTA, and then, like, they get all super tanky like in FFTA too. Oh wow, Canopus might actually go down here. Also, wow, that healcraft lasted a good long while. And let's have you stand by. Alright, eliminate this guy. Say eliminate because there's really very little chance of him actually doing anything useful now. Actually, let's have you drop one of these on him. Or one of these. Yeah, the kill move is essentially tremendous plus, you know, a debuff on it. Where's the archers go now? Oh, there we go. That's the end, and there's the Rhyme Invasion. And then he goes around stabbing folks because he's a dick. More slashing, but whatever. He wants to make stuff more difficult for himself. Just mechanically speaking, that sounds really crazy. It's an animation thing. Just easier to animate a swing. Alright, so now we go back and take over Almarca. Right, people need moves, first of all. There's really no logic behind what I'm doing here. Yeah, he even knows Phalanx, so why the hell doesn't he have it? I knew I got it for him. There we go. You guys definitely need this, because that's your main reason for being here. And you can still afford infusions, so definitely that. Probably followed up by a recruit. Might want that on somebody else, though. That's too many TP abilities on them. They can't do everything. You have spears. You don't. Fix that. I'm tempted to switch him over to swords, actually. Whatever. Phalanx. Yeah, put that instead of Divine. Alright, Archies need anything? Probably Reflect. Seems the most reasonable thing to get for him. Just gotta remember to stick Aerosol in the next fight. And that she can actually equip it. Alright, I think everyone else will be alright for now. Unless these guys want to learn anything new. Probably not. Efficacy? Clarity. Okay. Clarity, definitely, but can they pop it in? No, they can't. That was not the person I meant to stick that on. That's what she said. Maybe? Kinda? Whatever. Clarity will be useful on the healers later. Alright, he can get it, or she can get it, he can't. This is an OCD nightmare. Okay, and then... yeah, you can't use Last Resort yet. Probably Stun Ward on you. And parry. There we are. That's looking good. Alright, so that'll be that for now. And next time, castles and crap. So, yeah, see you next time.